Chris Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders. Very good fight. Very good fight. Looking through both of their resumes, Bradley Price is one opponent they have in common. Billy Joe went 12 with Bradley, and Eubank went 8 with Bradley. Both went the distance. Billy Joe Saunders has held the more prestigious titles. I mean, you know, Commonwealth title, European title. He's a current European champion, British champion. So just on the strength of that, he's achieved more. And although I can't vouch for the strength of his opposition, like his European title defense against Emmanuel Blandemura, I can't vouch for how strong a European challenger that was. But, you know, or John Ryder, I don't know how good these guys are. I don't know. Matthew Hall, decent win, took him 12. You'd probably have to give Billy Joe the edge on tougher opponents. You'd have to give him the edge, you know. Billy Joe, 20 wins, 11 KOs, no defeats. Chris Eubank Jr., 17 wins, 12 KOs, no defeats. Eubanks has the better KO percentage, but then again, you can say Saunders has faced a slightly stiffer opposition. I think Eubanks has vast potential, personally. I think he has vast potential. And what's key in the word? I said, I think. He hasn't proven anything yet. They was looking to try and put Billy Joe Saunders in there with Peter Quillen. That doesn't look like it's materializing for now. How good is Billy Joe Saunders? How good is Chris Eubank Jr.? The jury is still out. This is a great domestic fight between two young middleweight prospects, undefeated. It's going to be on the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora bill in the XL Arena in London. Eubank has one more tune-up fight before that on the 25th of the 10th against Jez Wilson. Literally a month before the Billy Joe Saunders fight. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to pick Eubank. Maybe because I've just seen him fight more. And he looks good to me. Billy Joe Saunders is going to have to do a really good job to stop him and beat him, in my opinion. I saw Billy Joe Saunders against Nick Blackwell. Was it Nick Blackwell? And he faded. He looked like he's fading a little in that. Like maybe his condition's a little better. Maybe he's improved since then. And his power looked like it improved in his last defense where he knocked out Blandemura in the European title defense. They tried to bill him as a puncher on Box Nation earlier, and I never saw him as a big puncher. I never saw that. Eubank, his power is improving all the time, even though the level of opposition isn't up to much. It didn't look like he was going to be a puncher at all when he first started. But right now, the power is evident. The skill set is evident. In my opinion, it's evident. This is a really good fight. I've put my neck out on the line, and I can afford to do that because I'm not getting hit. And I'm going to go for Eubank Jr. Amir Khan and Jose Cito Lopez has danger written all over it, in my opinion. Khan goes in as a heavy favourite at the bookmakers. Most of the boxing fraternity will have him a heavy favourite. And I have him a favourite too. But you can't sleep on this match. If I was a gambler, I would put a couple of pounds on Jose Cito Lopez. Don't get me wrong, Khan should win it. But this type of match, it's got danger written all over it, man. Lopez is not a fragile dude. Yeah, when he has been banged out, it's been against naturally bigger guys like Maidana and Canelo. You know, Lopez has a disputed decision loss against the interim light welterweight champion, Jesse Vargas. He's quite experienced. He has 33 fights. So it's not no mug. Khan does not hit as hard as Maidana, in my opinion, or Canelo. And he's not as robust as either of them two, in my opinion. If Khan doesn't get his tactics right, he could be dragged into a war here. Into a war. I've got this down as a tough fight. Lopez, one of his strengths is he has great enthusiasm. You know, I know that's not scientific. It's not exactly Barry Robinson breaking it down. But he has a great appetite for the game. He likes fighting. He will be up for this. Khan should be up for this because big money waits around the corner for both men. You know, hopefully Lopez has learnt that you have to stick to a game plan. When I made my prediction video for when he fought Marcus Maidana, I heard what he said when he said, I may stray off the game plan against Maidana. I may stray off the game plan and, you know, just start getting in a free-for-all. He's basically predetermining his outcome, and that's how it exactly played out in the fight. You know, I gave him a chance up till then, but you know, when he said that, your words and your actions, you know, basically predetermine your destiny. There's no two ways around that. Hopefully he's learned from that. He sticks to his game plan, and he'll give Khan a hard fight. Khan should win it, though. Khan should win it. But don't sleep on this fight. George Groves has a eliminator tomorrow at Wembley Arena, for Anthony Dirrell's WBC super middleweight title. He'll be taking on Christopher Rebrassi. Rebrassi, 32 years of age, has only lost twice in 27 fights, with only 6 of his wins coming inside the distance. So he's not a big puncher. I don't know what he's done to get himself an eliminator, you know, but it is what it is. Groves, on paper it looks like a win. You know, on paper it looks like a win. Tim Bradley is to face Diego Chaves in a welterweight bout on December the 13th at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, according to Bob Arum. It's yet to be finalized according to Bob Arum, but it looks like it's going ahead according to Bob. So Tim takes on Chaves. Looks like easy work for Tim, in my opinion. Looks like easy work. Antonio Tarver pulls out of the Jonathan Banks fight, which was scheduled for the 29th of September. A fractured thumb on his left hand has forced him to pull out. Tarver says this is the first time he's had to pull out of a fight through injury, but he has to let himself heal. So the featherweight bout between Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr. and Roal Hidalgo has been elevated to the main event. The show must go on, said Oscar De La Hoya. Tarver's 26-year-old son, Antonio Jr., also a southpaw, will make his professional debut against Zachary Briones on the undercard. Vasyl Lomachenko is planning to make his first defense of his WBO featherweight title against, and I'm going to attempt to try and say this, we'll see how we get on, Chonlatan Piriapinho. It will be one of the support bouts on November the 22nd to the main event, which is Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri in China, Macau. Lomachenko said he didn't feel Russell's power at all. He said Russell was fast, but all he had to do was work the body, make him fight as much as possible, and then go to the head. His opponent from Thailand, Piriapinho, 52 wins, 1 loss, 33 KOs. He's won 8 fights on the bounce, 6 by stoppage, since losing a unanimous decision to Chris John for Chris John's then WBA featherweight title. There has been debates whether Lomachenko's 6 fights in the World Series of Boxing, which he was paid to participate in, should be added to his pro ledger. But to me, that just adds to the confusion. We know the World Series of Boxing to be what it is for what it is, and they should leave that there. Jesse Vargas is being matched with Antonio DeMarco. DeMarco is 3-0 with 2 knockouts as a welterweight since being dethroned for the WBC lightweight belt against Adrian Broner. And he's getting a shot at the interim title, you know. Good for him. I don't see how he's earned it, but then again, hey, it's a payday. He's getting his payday. Zhu Shimming, a junior flyweight Olympic gold medalist who China are pinning a lot of hopes on. He fights on the bill. I wonder if they've got their big heavyweight there. Isn't there a Chinese heavyweight out there? He's about 7 foot. I saw him, I don't know if it was his debut. I saw him take someone out. Looked a bit slow of foot, but what would you expect at 7 foot? You know, few flaws there, you know, going back in straight lines, and looked a bit open for a few shots. But, you know, if he hits you, you're going to stay hit. That's all I remember from him. I mean, that's all I know. People say, yeah, flaws is that. You fight a 7 foot man and see if you can take advantage of them flaws. 2 different things.
I'm nothing like you dudes, I'm way better. Floyd Mayweather, I never lose.
Let's go. Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. apparently done 925,000 pay-per-view buys for his rematch against Marcus Maidana. And a lot of people didn't forecast that. Roughly 25,000 more than their first fight. And since Floyd pocketed $38 million for the first encounter. He can expect a nice chunk of change to accompany his guaranteed purse of $32 million for his work last week. So, you know, the Floyd money-making bandwagon is rolling nicely. Not really one of my concerns about boxing, but, you know, his earning potential, you know, it's evident that the man is relevant and people still want to watch him. And that's how the pound-for-pound best fighter does it today.
I'm nothing like you dudes, I'm way better. Floyd Mayweather, I never lose.
Let's go. Ricky Burns, he returns to the ring. He's moving up to light welterweight to face Esteban Gonzalez. Ricky obviously lost his WBO lightweight title to Terence Crawford in one-sided unanimous decision. In his next fight, which was supposed to be a routine win to get him back on track, he got floored and outpointed by Dejan, and I'm not going to say the surname because it looks hard to pronounce. That will be in Leeds, in Yorkshire in the UK, on October the 4th. It's a hard road back, man. Them light welters, you know, one of Ricky's strengths at lightweight was his size. He was a big lightweight. That is going to now be compromised and negated at junior welter. You know, these guys are no slower than the lightweights, and they don't certainly hit no less harder. So, who can he beat at junior lightweight? Chris Algieri? I don't see it. Lamont Peterson? I certainly don't see that. Danny Garcia? No. His easiest outlet would be Jesse Vargas, and even that would be life or death. And I'd have to fancy Jesse to even beat Ricky. It's a tough ask. 140 is a tough ask, but we'll see. According to Virgil Hunter, Andre Ward's inactivity has nothing to do with Dan Goossen. It's because nobody will fight him. I'm at the stage here where I'm not going to argue with Virgil. I'm not going to argue with Goossen. I'm not going to argue with Ward, because basically I'm here to report boxing, and bottom line is Ward isn't doing any. Am I supposed to believe that no opponents at 168 want to face Andre Ward? I refuse to believe that, man. I refuse that. I refuse to believe that. You know, there must be some budding challengers. Am I led to believe that the Darrell match can't be made? Like I said, you know, you have to do a better job promoting yourself. It's no use saying that I'm the main attraction when the viewing figures ain't saying that. It should have came to the UK, made himself visible, you know, at the big event of Groves and Frotch. That's just my opinion. A lot of people agreed with me, a lot of you didn't. Like his number 2 pound for pound ranking, which everybody's still holding on to for the majority. They've still got him number 2. It's not an indefinite thing that he's entitled to, you know. He has to fight, you know. I don't know what he's going to do. If he doesn't want to fight in the UK against Frotch, then, you know, he can stay in America. He'll have to fight maybe one of his mandatories. I mean, is it Fedor shoot enough? You know, tackle him. If you don't want the money in the UK against Frotch, I'm not sure if Frotch wanted to fight, but regardless of that, Ward said, why should he travel? So, okay, well, if that's the case, you can fight your mandatory. Is it Fedor shoot enough? You can fight him. And then you go from there. What can I say? The fact is, there are not much big name contenders at super middleweight. There's not much. I think James DeGill is fighting Frotch next year, if that's finalized. I don't think that would have been a big money spinner. George Groves, he's in rehabilitation after nearly getting his head taken off by Carl Frotch. Guys like Callum Smith are not ready yet. So I don't know, you know, I mean, there's lots of fights at light heavyweight, you know, attractive fights, you know, Bernard and Sergei Kovalev are tied up, but Adonis Stevenson is free, Jean Pascal is free, you know, and to be honest, you know, I mean, like, where's the creativity these days? If he's saying that it's too big a jump for him to fight at 175, can't he come to some kind of compromise with Adonis or Jean Pascal and say, okay, let the fight be at 170? Forget the belts, you can do that in boxing. The freedom is there. There's no rigid league structure. You can do that in boxing. Boxers complain about their lack of opportunities. But in boxing, I mean, they have such a loose structure. that they can basically do what they want. There's no real grounds for complaints. You can do what you want. You can fight at 170, you can fight at 168, 171, I don't know, or 175. You can do that. Just pick a venue and fight. Ward, it's sad what's happened to his career. It's really sad. But I don't have that much sympathy for the guy. I don't know. That's just where I'm at right now. Great fighter, but I don't have that much sympathy for him. So I'll take it with a pinch of salt what he or Virgil Hunter or Dan Goosen or anybody has to say. Basically, we talk boxing and he ain't doing nothing right now. I mean, it's not like he's got a Rigondeaux situation where they took him off primetime slots and shit like that. You know, he's still got his slot or his spot on Showtime. He still has that. Look, we all know Ward beat Froch decisively. We all know that. You can't keep beating us in the head with that. It's kind of like if we was both in school and you passed all your exams and I was a slacker, you know. But then we got out into the world and I got my shit together and you got complacent on your exams. Then I started running my own business, being self-sufficient, while maybe you got complacent or didn't want to take risks like I did, and then you ended up taking a safe 9-to-5, which is frustrating you to a degree because you're not your own man despite your academic qualifications. You're not your own man. So let's not forget that the tortoise can pass the hare. You know, I'm not saying Ward has done that, but apart from not avenging the loss to Ward, he has evened up the playing field to a degree. To a degree, it has to be said. On Andre Ward, he has evened it up a little, the gulf between them. He's fought more than Andre Ward. He's fought more times than Ward. He's fought on the road more times than Ward. He's had more title fights. He's fought with regularity. And he's scored more knockouts. So it's not totally unfair why people, or why more casual fans will know Carl Froch than Andre Ward. It's not totally unfair. We all know Ward was the better fighter. But, you know, like I say, what you do one fight cannot indefinitely keep you in that position. It's an ongoing process. It's always an ongoing process, man. You know? And with that, we're going to wrap this one up. Peace.